Let's take a look at this right here. Craig, is there reason for Baltimore Ravens fans to be concerned?
Yeah, a little bit. And there's 4 more guys that should be on the right side of that list. They may not be household names, but they've lost 8 guys who are all major contributors to their success on both sides of the ball. I kind of feel bad, though, just real quick, for Derrick Henry. Like, Derrick Henry's there with his family, and this is supposed to be a celebration of the Baltimore Ravens signing Derrick Henry, right? That's what this is supposed to be about, what Derrick Henry brings to the Ravens franchise, why we went out there and gave him, the $8 million guaranteed, all that stuff, right? And Derrick Henry's sitting there while DeCosta's bemoaning the fact that he lost 8 guys. He's like, yeah, Derrick Henry's great, but man, we lost Moses and we lost Duvernay
Queen,
and Odell's
Stone.
not coming back. And not only did we lose Queen, he's going to the Steelers. That sucks. And I'm sitting here going about, what about me? You got me. So it was a very strange press conference there. Look, here's the deal. Yes, if I'm a Ravens fan, I don't know what the right level of word is. Am I concerned a little bit? Yeah, you have to be. You lost 8 guys from a team that went to an AFC Championship game. But we all know this. It's a quarterback-driven league, and you have a badass quarterback, right? You also have a guy, I know he's 30, has a lot of mileage on him. He's a badass running back. My concern, which I think I've said all week long, is not how good Derrick Henry is. It's when he's at his best. And will the Ravens allow him to get enough carries to get the best out of him? He's not a quick spurt guy where, hey, I can bring him in as a change of pace, give him 5 carries, he's going to go for 50 yards, and the defense doesn't know what hit him. He's the guy that needs the ball a lot, especially in the fourth quarter. The reason that does excite me, if I'm a Ravens fan, is why we lost to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. What Derrick Henry brings to the table is what we failed to do in the fourth quarter, and really the entire second half of that game against Kansas City, and that is commit to the punishing runs to break down a defensive line and have linebackers gasping for air. If they commit to that, then I think your points earlier this week are dead on, where even though they led the league in rushing last year, they don't have to lead the league in rushing this year. They just have to commit to running the ball and be who they are. And that's where I think Derrick Henry can be an upgrade based on an offense last year that did have, collectively, the top rushing attack in football.
Yeah, don't forget, you pay Lamar Jackson a lot of money to be that guy. With that, one of the things that Lamar Jackson does really well is run the ball. Now, if you want to keep the longevity and keep him healthy, you got to take some of them bricks off his shoulders and allow a big back like Derrick Henry to push the ball in between the tackles. So it's a plus. But overall, if you're Derrick Henry, out of the 8 people he mentioned, the 2 guys on that offensive line were your main run blockers, and that's John Simpson and Morgan Moses. So as much as you're excited to be there, who's going to be blocking for me?
Right. But I think the press conference fascinates me. I'm just going to I'll make it personal, right? So Willie joined the show last September. It's been great. Love having him here,
Thanks,
right?
I appreciate it.
But imagine if we're introducing Willie Colon and we're like, I think it's great that Willie's a part of the show, but man, we lost Jeff Schwartz and Gerald McCoy and James Jones and Cody Decker. And, he's great and all, but, man, we really lost a lot of guys that are a part of the growth of this show and success of this show. And, it's great, and Josh Norman, of course, can't forget Josh and Kenny Anderson and Eddie House. And, no, Willie's great. But, those guys are a big part of our foundation. Yeah. You'd be like, what the heck is going on?
Sound like my Jets career.
Also true. Gotta look to Brickenshaw. DeBrick's a big part. And look, Mangold's a rock star.
We lost everybody. Yeah. Bart Scott, Jace Taylor, Big Cat.
Yeah, Alan Faneca was a big part of what we did. Anyway, go. What's second of football?
Moving on to second of football, let's talk about the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, they lost Gabe Davis, but they replaced him with Brooklyn's own Curtis Samuel. I love Samuel for the Bills. I think he's a great fit. Craig, something tells me you're going negative.
Is it a great fit?
It's great.
I think
he's better. A perfect slot guy.
It's better for Curtis Samuel than it is for the Bills. Because Gabe Davis was really good. I know he was sporadic. I know, and part of that is also because maybe that's on Josh Allen. I don't know. And they did focus more on running the ball late. I don't think this is an upgrade from Gabe Davis. I think they did fill the need because Gabe left and got, what did you get, $40 million 3 years, whatever it was, right? So I give the Bills credit. They recognize we lost Gabe. We got to replace him because we can't just have Diggs on the outside, and I always forget the guy's name, Shakir, who became a bigger part of that offense as a slot receiver, the Edelman-type receiver, and was very good at it. So, yes, it is a good deal for the Bills to have replaced Gabe Davis, but they're not replacing him with someone better. So I think it's kind of a status quo deal.
I think that's fair to say. As a Bills fan, this isn't exciting as I wanted it to be. I thought there was other options. I like Samuel, but the idea of Curtis Samuel is better than Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, but what are you talking about? Listen, Joe Brady was on the staff when Curtis Samuel was a Panther.
Right.
And so he knows how to use Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel was at his best when he was a Carolina Panther, and Joe Brady, who's now the offensive coordinator of the Bills, was there in Carolina. So you got a guy, an OC, who knows how to use him and multiple facet, and you got a guy who you can now hand the ball off to and is a vertical threat. So this is a win for the Bills.
Yeah, look, it's a win because they had an automatic need, right? When Gabe Davis left, and you're looking at that offense, even though they became run heavy, the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season successfully, they've got stud tight end. They've got, obviously, Diggs, who's still a top 5 receiver in the league. Mm-hmm. You've got Shakir, who became a bigger part of that offense. So, yeah, they had to get a wide receiver. And in this case, you get a guy who's, not 40 years old, so, he can grow in that offense. But, look, much like all these other teams with great quarterbacks, the belief is whatever Curtis Samuel has done in his career thus far, which has been good, not, oh, my God, great, but good, that Josh Allen should make him better.
I think you make a good point because Josh Allen is one of the, I would say, 4 quarterbacks where it's like, we're going to win because of you.
Yeah, I agree.
We're going to win because of you. You're going to get us there, not the weapons around.
By the way, he's never had quarterbacks like that.
Right, and I don't want to, we shouldn't compare anyone to Brady except for Mahomes possibly, but that's what makes those guys special. Like, when we talk about the top quarterbacks in the league, and we always go, who's your top 10 quarterback? No matter who you have in the top 10, dudes 4 to 10 aren't the top 3 guys. Mahomes makes everybody on the field better. I think Josh Allen has moments like that as well, where he makes other people better. And there's not a lot of guys that do that. Like Justin Herbert doesn't do that. He's a great quarterback, but we have no proof of him making average wide receivers better than average. Now, the fact that they let Keenan Allen go, we'll get to that in a second, I know, and Mike Williams is gone, maybe we'll see that now for the first time, but that's what makes guys like Allen special.
Moving on to third and football, let's talk about some tampering. The Philadelphia Eagles are being investigated for tampering with that man, Saquon Barkley.
Typical Philly crap.
We've discussed this before, Craig. My question for you is, should there be a punishment for the Eagles engaging with Saquon, allegedly?
Well, now, Saquon spoke about it yesterday. Saquon said, look, the story got a little convoluted when the Penn State coach, James Franklin, came out and said it. He goes, I never spoke to Howie Roseman. He goes, Howie Roseman spoke to my agent, and he told my agent that this is a Penn State town. Everybody's going to love him.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Saquon's not
that
stupid.
made him sign? He's like, oh, there's going to be some Penn State fans there, so let me sign the contract?
Yeah, very good point. Because you could have gone to Pittsburgh. It's pretty close to the State College as well, right? But, here's the deal. He went to Philly because Philly offered him $26 million guaranteed, right? Period, stop. This wasn't about, I want to be near Penn State fans. This wasn't about, I want to stay in the Northeast because I have a home in Jersey and it's an easy commute. This was about one team and one team only gave me $26 million guaranteed. Period, stop. Look, I'm a big Saquon guy. Yeah, we're going to be golfing together in this big thing coming up in a little bit. And that's my dude. And I'm happy for him. But the tampering thing is interesting because 2 teams have now been accused of tampering.
Yeah.
The Eagles, and they thoroughly deny it. And Saquon helped the Eagles out yesterday by saying, it wasn't me, it was my agent, we should be good. And, of course, Kirk Cousins in Atlanta, where Kirk's the guy that came out and said, oh, yeah, I talked to him.
What do you mean?
I talked to the...
I just like the fact that Philly's accused of it, because it gives me a chance to criticize Philly again. But my gut is that Saquon saying that will kind of end it. I know the NFL's investigating it. And look, worst case is a 3rd-round pick you lose. Because it's only happened once before, to my knowledge. If it's happened more than that, tell me. But the penalty has been you forfeit a 3rd-round draft pick. So that's the worst-case scenario, which is not a small thing. It's a big deal. Because you should get a starter in the 3rd round, but that's the deal. Hey there. Thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.